Right, let's see. Wait till everything gets situated. All right, looking online, everything looks good. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to World Warriors Collective. I am ADS Play 101. This video is to make sure I get information out to the people. They may have questions as to where I've been, what's going on with me, what's been happening, and overall why I haven't been live streaming for the past, well, pretty much since the beginning of the new year, towards the late last year, and so forth. If you read the title, you can basically get like a gist of what this whole video is going to be about, but I'm going to go to it in further detail. So you guys, please stay tuned, because it's a lot of information that's going to be coming your way. So in this video, what I'm going to cover is one, the fact that I'll be moving into a new house with roommates, but it's going to be a better living situation for me, especially after the month of February is over, because that's going to be like my kind of like my rough patch. But because of that, certain things had to get pushed back that I know a lot of you guys were wondering about and concerned about me being able to do, and also covering why I have to move in the first place, because I think this is an important topic that I think I've touched on multiple times throughout the 4 years I've lived in this house right here. So first and foremost, let's just get straight into it, because I don't want to take forever in a day. I have to work tonight, and this is like my final stretch before after the night I'll be pretty much in the clear, for everything to be where it needs to be. So I'm just trying to get enough sleep so I can stay level-headed, get past this night, and just be done with all the drama that I have to, just be done with all the oncoming woes, basically. So, we moved into this house, let me see, January 1st, 2015. So that's about 4 years ago when we moved here. About like a good, like, what, 4 or 5? No, I was, yeah, pretty much like a good 4 years ago. And, it was a rough start at first, because, for one, I wasn't really a fan of the move, because you guys have to understand, again, I spoke about it like multiple times throughout the years. I don't want to, keep drowning your ears with the same old talk, but basically, my cousin and my sister decided they wanted to come together. Since everybody was going to everybody's house, off and on so much, why not just get a house together that could fit all of us and basically, save money? At least that was the idea. I was kind of against it at first, because one, you're bringing two different personalities together, and it didn't really make sense to me per se at the time, because me, my sister, and my nephew, who was also living with us, we were more quiet, reserved, more to ourselves. We didn't really, saying, like, we weren't, I wouldn't say we weren't energetic, but we weren't like outspoken and like loud like that. My cousins, on the other hand, they're very loud, they're very active, very fun people to be around, but they're very energetic, and it's almost like they don't know when to turn it off, kind of. So it was kind of like you're bringing like quiet people who are normally to themselves versus people who wants to be, around everybody and be out there, kind of like like the extroverts and like the introverts, kind of. Almost forgot the word, but it was kind of like bringing those two personalities together, as they call them, extroverts and introverts. But and because of that, I was kind of like iffy towards it. And on top of that, you know, everybody didn't, well, I know I didn't, but I know everybody didn't get a chance to see the house that they were deciding to move into. And things weren't necessarily hashed out the way they needed to be. And I don't want to get too deep into that either, but things weren't hashed out the way they needed to be, to the point where it was like I was just in my room asleep, then boom, woke up, okay, we gotta move. We got the U-Haul outside, let's just get all the stuff and go. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like a big what the fuck moment when we first moved in this house. So the living arrangements weren't really discussed properly, to the point where when I did move in here, it was like everybody else had picked out their rooms, and I was kind of stuck between a room that was too small for everything that I had at the time and this open loft area that you see me in now, which is basically like no doors, no windows, just like an open space where when everybody walks out of their room, they can look directly into my, you know what I mean? There was no sense of solitude or privacy, so I kind of had to deal with that all year long. And the worst part about it is, with me doing this, as you can probably hear in the background, I had to always deal with, anytime I got ready to do a video or record, it always seemed like there was noise in the background, either somebody talking, somebody has their kids over and their kids are being loud, or, you know, friends of the family bringing their kids over, or there was some big party downstairs or some big social, you know, gathering or something going on downstairs, and it was just like way too loud. And I just like, you know what, forget it, I'll just let them have it and just, you know what I mean, try to wait till everybody else leaves the house to go to work and deal with you know, the video when I come home the following day when everybody else is gone and I have, like, you know, a house to myself a little bit, to where I can do the video without distraction. So that was like one of the major issues I had with living here, was that it wasn't any privacy and I couldn't get things done at the time. And, you know, when we do things on YouTube and on Twitch, you know, sometimes some of the best content is kind of like I would say kind of like spur of the moment. It's like you could be having a good idea and a good thought in your head that you may want to express in a video, and you may not be able to get it out right then and there. But after you sit down and think about it for a while, like the ideas come to you, like, okay, now it's time to do the video. It always seems like at that moment there was this interruption that constantly, you know, prevented me from doing the videos at the time I wanted to do them. So that was kind of like, you know, and when you don't have a door or anything to block out that, it's just like, you know, again, you could probably hear that too. Somebody just walked in the house and they're jingling their keys. It's just like little things like that would kind of throw me off. So that was one of the issues. Two, it was like there was no sense of respect, because you would have people just walking into other people's rooms, even though we're family and things like that. You know, we always act silly. Still, like, you know, people wasn't really respecting people's privacy. And it would also be times where I would do a video and people think they just being funny, just being, you know, family members, and they would just yell or like try to make a joke. Like, if I, for example, if they were here, they're not here right now, but if the ones I'm referring to were here and I'm doing a video like this, obviously I'm trying to be serious with you guys and trying to explain some things, they would just yell and, you know, come over like you see me recording. Like, this is not the time to be talking to me about little miscellaneous stuff. So it was always those problems and those little pet peeves that were getting to me, and it was just never. And again, you could probably hear that too. I can't turn this off, but this is like a good example as to what I mean. So I guess it's a blessing in disguise that this is actually happening. But yeah, that was an issue. So, and I've dealt with that, you know, over the course of, like, you know, 4 years leading up to now, from January 1st, 2015, all the way up until now. And it's always been like that thorn, that the finger constantly poking me in the back of my neck, and always that monkey on my back, always that thorn in my side. And of course, things changed over the years, especially these last couple years, where you know, how many times have I told you guys about, it seemed like something finally great is finna happen, and then all of a sudden some bullshit comes along to where, you know, it just throws everything off to where I can't get things done that I need to get done. You know, how many stories have I told like that over the years? You know, it's been quite a handful, to where it's like everything's finally getting right. You know, I'm finna buy a car, or I need to get a new game system that I need to buy, or something, because I do this on YouTube. I'm trying to make this a living, so of course I need the latest game systems to keep up to date with the games on other systems that the PlayStation doesn't have, like the Nintendo Switch and so forth, and the Xbox One, and et cetera, et cetera. But I haven't been able to capitalize on that because there's always some negative to come interrupt it. It's not a big deal, but at the same time, it's like, come on, man, like, really, this again? But yeah, so there's that, and this is just another bump in the road, really. So just to continue on to what's happening right now, instead of just focusing on past stuff that I talked about, what's currently going on, where I've been currently, I am in the middle of moving into a new house. Basically, that's what it throws me off. It really does throw me off. So I'm gonna just say that this is the example that I was talking about. So I'm gonna just let them do them. Don't be so distracted by it. But I'm trying to get things, get the videos done, because it does throw me off a little bit. But I'll be moving into a new home. I think I should be moved in by January 29th. Because we've had a situation with our landlord at this current house that's been a thorn in our side for the past 4 years. So let me give you like the story, right? So we moved in this house again back January 1st, 2015. When we first moved in here, the landlord wanted a security deposit of $5,000, which we agreed to pay over, a course of several months. Because normally when you move into a new house, people don't have the security deposit on them like right away, because it varies from place to place. So it's no telling how much security deposit that this landlord wants, or this one wants. You know what I mean? Right off the bat. And even after you talk to them and find out, you try to work out a payment plan where you can pay them over the course of several months so you can get it paid off. So that was our agreement at that time, to pay off a $5,000 security deposit as well as the $2,500 rent, which it was at the time. And we ended up getting it paid off, and things were going smoothly, because the security deposit was really like the thorn in our side for real. So we ended up making sure that we got that security deposit paid off, and the rent was for $2,500, and we ended up getting into a good space. When we first moved into this house, along with that, situation with the security deposit and the rent money, there were several issues going on with this house. The toilet upstairs had a leak in the back of it that you can clearly tell was causing damage to the floor, because the tiles were kind of like, it wasn't like real tiles, kind of like that plastic vinyl kind of tile. And you can tell because the vinyl, the tile that was in the back of like the toilet was kind of like raised up a little bit, and you could tell the water damage was caused right there already. Two, the carpet was a complete disaster. I think I posted some pictures on my Facebook. I kind of wish I would have had the pictures up here, but they were from 4 years ago. I got like thousands upon thousands of pictures in my Facebook to dig through, and I just couldn't find them. I know I uploaded them to the because I was showing them off to various people, but it was just like I couldn't find them in time in order to do this video. But yeah, the carpet had like black spots on it, and we tried to get it cleaned multiple times over the years using different products, and it just like basically is to the point where the carpet has to be replaced, because the things we were doing in the we had professional carpet cleaners come over countless times, and trying to get it clean and look presentable for like Christmas parties and things like that, Thanksgiving gatherings, and we couldn't even get it clean because it was in such bad shape. So happy I'm leaving here. So happy. But the carpet was in such bad shape to where it literally had to be replaced I mean, even the carpet now, we got it cleaned up, the areas that were like terrible, but you can still see where the black spots were in the carpet. They just kind of like brightened up a little bit with the carpet solution. That it was a roommate, he bought it and he used it, and it was the best thing we used over the 4 years that we've been here to make the carpet look presentable and whatever. So that has been the an issue. Downstairs in the living area, in the living room, the walls were like chipped a little bit, and they had like dents in them from when I guess people were pushing furniture in there and they banged it up against the wall and it caused it to chip and things like that. It took the landlords 2 years to get those things fixed. When we moved in, we told them about it, and it took literally we told them about it like sometime within that first month of us moving here back in 2015. They did not come and fix those problems until like, I think like mid to late 2017. I think it was like late 2017. So it was like a little over 2 years that it took them, or like just under 2 years for them to come fix the problem. The problems that we've been talking about, and it's just light fixtures. And, it was several things that were an issue, and of course we decided to move in anyway because a lot of us were working, and this is a good place that was in good proximity to a lot of our jobs. Not to mention that up the street there's a movie theater, there's a grocery store, there's a gas station. Like, this is really a prime location for anybody who just for anybody really. There's an elementary school right up the street. The high school is like literally right up the street from there. So this is literally a prime location. You got everything within arm's reach, literally, in this one spot. So paying a $5,000 security deposit and paying $2,500 for rent, that's like that's like the most we can do. But this is the agreement as far as the rent and the security deposit back in 2015. Fast forward to 2017, the landlord decides that she wants to raise the rent because the property value of the area went up, and of course the property value goes up, the rent is going to get raised as well. So the rent had got raised to $2,700. And this is way after we already paid the security deposit or whatever. I mean, it's depressing to pay like more money, but considering the area, we weren't, really tripping on it. Oh yeah, and another thing that had to get fixed, some of the drawers in the kitchen were actually like off the rack. The racks were actually too small for the drawers that they had in there. So the drawers were kind of like bent in like a diagonal way. They weren't even on the rails moving back and forth. They would fall. So it was kind of like an issue with that as well. So it was several things. But yeah, that, and again, we're in a prime location, and fast forward to 2017, the rent got raised $200 to $2,700, and of course we paid it. It was a little bit why, but we understood, so we paid it, no problem. Hasn't been an issue. But later on, excuse me, that same year, she tried to raise the rent up on us again, a second time. And this was like, the rent got raised, I would say, sometime early January 2017. And this is back during the summer of that same year. So this is just mere months after the rent had already been raised. She tries to raise the rent up again to $3,000. Now my cousin decided, put her foot down and we're like, you know what? You're raising the rent up on us twice within the same year. You do this again, I'm a lawyer up. Now she, didn't raise the rent up after that. It stayed at, $2,700 from that moment on up until now. But come to find out, I came home, I would say like a few weeks ago, right? Earlier this month. It was a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday I came home, and I would say like 2018, my cousin decided that, she's tired of living in California. The rent is too high out here or whatever. It just didn't suit her taste anymore. So she decided that she was going to move back to the South to be closer to family and to have, obviously cheaper rent down there. The food is much better down there as well. So just an overall a better living experience for anybody who didn't want to deal with this California lifestyle anymore. Like, it's just way too much for anybody, especially if you're used to living in the South where rent is cheaper and things are a lot better for in comparison to this. It's a much less stressful life, more chill and laid back. So eventually, they got tired. My sister moved out way before, she decided to do this. But nevertheless, she decided she wanted to move about February 1st. She was going to be out. Like, okay. So the remainder of us, it was only 4 of us here. It was me. I don't want to give no names out. It was a male roommate, my cousin, which is my cousin whose name is on the lease. It was her daughter, her like middle child, and there was an elder lady living downstairs as well. So it was 4 of us that was going to stay here. Plus my cousin, she had a friend who was going to occupy the room that she had. I was going to get another room over here that was the one that I said it was too small originally, and several things are going to get moved around. You know what I mean? So that was the idea, the plan. And we had this agreement in this talk around like late 2018 that we were going to keep the house, and we was like, cool. So come, I would say around like early Wednesday 2019 this year, I come home from work. I would say this happened on like Wednesday on the 9th. So this happened on the 9th, crossing over into the 10th. I come home early morning at night because I work night shift, overnight. 8:30 in the morning, I make it home, and the elder that stays downstairs, she came and tell me that she don't think that the landlord is going to let us keep the house. I'm like, why? What's going on? Like, I don't know. Your cousin ended up getting an email from her. She emailed me as well, and some of the things she said that she said just implies that she wasn't interested. So I talked to my cousin and asked her, what the situation was. So basically, the situation is this: she didn't want. When it came right down to it, she was trying to raise the rent on us again. This time she was trying to raise it up to $4,000. Now remember, last time she was trying to raise it up to $3,000, but now she's trying to she was going to raise it up to $3,000, but eventually their whole idea is to raise it up to $4,000, for the area. And coming from the fact that we was paying, $2,500, that's nearly half of what we were paying, and that's kind of like crazy. You've been giving us all this grief, constantly trying to raise the rent on us. You didn't fix the problems that we needed to have fixed. I don't know why this thing is bouncing around. You didn't fix the problems on us that needed to be fixed right away. You waited 2 years to fix those. And it's just been like grief with her ever since. So her thing was that she would sign the lease over to us, but we would have to pay $5,000 security deposit, and she didn't want to do a payment plan at that time. This time she wanted it all at once. Excuse me, I'm having an issue with my cough. I've been coughing like all week. It's bad. I need to get a decongestant medication, but I need to get decongestant medication. But yeah, it's been that type of situation with her to where she just did not want to compromise or see reason like she did when we first got here. Why is this thing bumping? I might have to take that off. But yeah, she just did not want to, cooperate with us for whatever reason. And she was worried that we couldn't pay it off at once, all off at once. And so my cousin came up with the idea where, since they're just getting the lease signed over to their name anyway, how about we leave the security deposit that we paid with you, and they can just pay us back. You know what I mean? Because that's family. Yeah, we're going to pay them back. I mean, I know not everybody's family does that, but we never had any money issues between us like that. So we were going to pay them back over the course of several months and get them their $5,000 back, which, I mean, a much better position now than I was when I first compared to when we first moved in here, making good money. I'm at a job that's like really right up the street from me, within walking distance, and I'm making the money that I'm making. So I'm like, I'm in a good position right now. So fast forward, I don't know why I'm saying fast forward, but within that same conversation, she was like, "No, that sounds too complicated. Like, it's not. How is that complicated? Like, I'm trying to think about a reason as to why she would feel that way, and the only thing I can think about is like maybe we didn't pay our cousin back, and now she's coming back for the $5,000 that she had originally put into, you know, security deposit that was already in the house, that was already paid, maybe something like that. But it was just like the landlord was just being very, very reasonable, and you know, she just didn't bother. So my cousin was like, "Well, whatever, we're gonna move out." She said, the landlord said, "Okay, whatever, you know, like we'll cancel your contract on February 1st." Click. And that was basically it. So the whole situation was basically that the landlord wanted us to move out because she didn't want us here anymore, because we wouldn't allow her to raise the rent on us the way she was trying to do it. You know what I mean? So that was the whole thing. So it's a lot harder to get somebody to pay $4,000, well, even $3,000 rent when they moved in they were only paying $2,500. You know what I mean? So it was just like she constantly tried to raise the rent up on us unfairly and in an unprofessional manner. Maybe because she was trying to run us out. I don't know what the case is, but she just, you know what I mean? She basically just wanted us out for whatever reason. So we've been trying to scramble around and find either a house that all of us can be in that's still nearby, or we'll just break off and just go to our own separate ways. And unfortunately, everybody decided to go to separate ways, and everybody seemed to have, you know, found a place to live. And now, you know, like the time is of the essence. We have to get everything, you know, out the house, either sell it or bring it with us before February 1st gets here. So my cousin, her daughter, which was my cousin as well, the middle child, she moved out. She's already fully moved. She's gone. The elder downstairs and her son, who's the roommate over here, just right there next to me. There's like a room next to the loft area. That's his room. Them two, they're getting ready to move next week as well, and I'm moving on the 29th. So this is literally like the final vlog I'm doing in this house. You know, and the new place, of course, I'm going to do a video there. You know, I'll be moving in with this Asian couple. They're cool people, very fair, very strict, you know, really cool. They're within my age group, so it's not like I'm moving in with people who are like, you know, super old, or, you know what I mean, like, and who are stuck in their ways and don't want to, like, you know what I mean. I'm dealing with reasonable people here, you know. So the rent for the room that they were offering was pretty good. It includes all utilities and all that good stuff, washer, dryer, shower, all that. I get my own bathroom. Most importantly, I get doors that close. So I'm actually in an actual room. The only, I guess, downside, because of the way the room is designed, there's no like ceiling fan in there, which isn't no problem or anything. I can bring my own fan. And from what I can tell, there's no light source, which I could just get like one of those lights that kind of just stick on the wall, and I could just, you know what I mean? There's things I can buy to take care of that, but everything else is fine. Like, the house is big. There's a pool in the backyard. There's, you know, the kitchen is free for me to use anytime I feel like it. You know, it's just like a bunch of positives to moving into this new place versus being here and dealing with all the things I've been complaining about. That's one of them. I'm not gonna have that issue there. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's just been a race against the clock over here. So I haven't had time to sit down and play the games that I wanted to play, or even purchase the games that I wanted to play, or even focus on the other things that I wanted to focus on, like the World Warriors collective shoes. I'm improving on the designs that I put on there. So those are going to be, a lot of things are going to have to get pushed back, unfortunately, because with this new place, they want me to pay a $500, an $800 security deposit, which I'm going to be paid off with anyway. And the rent there is going to be $800, which is more than manageable for me. So I am not going to miss this place. But yeah, it's been a very stressful time. Excuse me, burps. So I never had time to sit down and just play myself a video game. I mean, I finished The Order 1886, but other games, I just haven't had time or the money to invest in it. It was more so me focusing on getting all of this done and making sure that I'm settled in a new place, because they're getting ready to leave for Texas, and I need to be out of this house by the 29th, in which I'm moving out on the 29th. So it's just been like, you know, especially these next couple days after I get home from work, I'm bringing all my stuff downstairs, getting the U-Haul, and moving over there in one go. So it's been a very, you know, stressful time because I'm overworked. You could probably hear it in my voice. I'm getting kind of sick because I'm overworking myself. But you know what? It's a better move. It's a better position. And the sad part about it is, you know, I think it was like, what, last year? I was complaining about the warehouse job that I lost. About somebody stole my bank information, couldn't use Lyft or Uber to get to work because that was my only way at the time. And I ended up not, why is this acting up now? And, you know, it was literally like one paycheck away from buying a house. I mean, not a house, but a car. Literally one paycheck away. So when I got that paycheck, it was more than enough money that I needed to buy. You know what? This is another one I probably got to take off. I probably had to, you know, I was in a good position to buy the car had I not been fired from that job, because I was still in my first 30 days, and they were taking attendance super strictly. You know, in the first 30 days, the fact that I was, you know, absent, they had to can me. But the good news is they still want me back. I've talked to them. They said that, you know, because I didn't have any company violations, I didn't come to work drunk, high, or on any illegal substances. I didn't fight. I didn't talk back to authority. You know, I was a good worker. We were getting things done at the warehouse, even ahead of time while I was there. So obviously, and the fact that they want me back shows how good of a worker I was there. So, and I was making real good money too. But I found a better job, closer proximity. And good thing is that the new house is only like an additional 8 minutes away from my job. So it's not like I'm moving that far away. You know what I mean? It's still within good, it's still within a good area. It's still within a good proximity to everything that I'm used to. You know, I'm not moving so far down the street to where, you know, I would have to catch a bus or something. Everything's within walking distance still. Just a little higher rent on my part. So I'm which is very doable. So I'm in a very good spot right now. But because of all of this that's happening, several things have to get pushed back. One, I will not be able to purchase Resident Evil 2, Jump Force, Ace Combat 7, or any of the other games that I, excuse me, that I had intended on buying, you know, right away, or pre-ordering, or et cetera, et cetera. So I'm gonna be like a month behind all of that, because come February I have to get finished paying off the security deposit at the new place, as well as come up with $800 for the rent. So my whole month of February is going to be dedicated to that. Once the security deposit is out the way, I'm back in the clear, and that's not going to be until like early March. So the entire month of February I'm fucked. You know what I mean? Like, I'm focusing on getting my money together to make sure that's straight. But March is really going to be the month where things are going to start picking back up to where it needs to be. I can start saving money for a car again, and I can, you know, get myself back in a prime position to where I can do better for myself, which I would have already been in had the landlord not pulled the shady shit. So So that's basically everything that's going on right now. And again, it's the last vlog in this place, and my experiences here have, you know, made me not take where I'm going for granted at all. You know what I mean? It's a very humbling ending. It's a very humbling ending going into a fresh new beginning that I absolutely need. So things are just going to be better for me over there at the new place. And I mean, there's upsides and downsides. Obviously, I'm moving in with people I don't really know, so that's always going to be a negative. But the positive is that they're very professional. They seem very professional with everything, and I'm not going to have to deal with any disturbances like I have to deal with over here. You know, they seem like they keep their house under, you know, a good enough supervision. They're gamers just like me, so that's always a positive. Everybody's within the same age group, so it's not like you're dealing with people who are like old or like too young. You know what I mean? It was like everybody has, you know, a pretty respectable understanding of how we want to live. So, and we're under that same umbrella, like we're on the same path. So we're all doing ourselves a favor by, you know, having like-minded people underneath the same roof, basically. Also, there's going to be doors, so of course I'm not going to have to deal with so much noise. I can soundproof the room. I can do whatever I needed to do that won't be against the guy who's basically my landlord wishes. Like we had this discussion already, so everything's getting, if I need to soundproof it, I think the walls are pretty good themselves. The internet is much better there because I'm gonna be on the bottom floor. Like it's really like a 2-story house. I'm gonna be on the bottom floor, and the internet is like literally on the other side of the wall where my room is. So the modem is going to be right there, so you can see better internet connections and things like that. Of course, I mean it's solid here, but it's like downstairs from where I am. But most definitely, that's somewhere I'm going to be enjoying pretty much. Yeah, man. March is going to be when things pick back up as far as me getting back into finishing my shoe designs, getting the website built back up, and things like that. In February, unfortunately, is going to be like a rough month for me as far as like just trying to, you know, deal with the stress of getting everything done. Not necessarily getting everything done, because I'm you know, I'm gonna have the money to do it. It's just that I just need to find the energy to last, to make sure I don't kill myself. But just trying to move and do an overnight shift is like not the best healthy. It's not the healthiest thing in the world, but it needs to be done if I'm gonna get to where I need to be and be in a position to where I need to be in, to where I can maintain a solid presence here on YouTube and on Twitch and get to where I need to be so I can make this into something. And I believe that this new place is that situation for me. I still need to buy a new laptop because this one is crumbling. Literally, the hinge on this left side right here it's somewhat broken, and I got to be careful with it. At least like the screen part right here is going to be green and like frizzled out. I'm not going to be able to use it anymore. So I'm trying to, at the very least, wait till I get my new laptop, extract everything I need off of this one, put it into the new one, and then just bash the hell out of this one like the printer in The Office. That infamous scene that's been copied by Family Guy and several other places, several other movies and what have you. But yeah, it's been a very stressful time for me living in this house. Leaving one job that I like to go to one that ended up subsequently I get fired from for no reasons beyond me. in meeting somebody. I'm not gonna say who, but she's an important person in my life. During this past year, I met her. You know, we're close, and getting ready to move into a better situation. You know, so that's basically everything that's going on. So thank you everybody who's been understanding and patient with me. I'm gonna do a vlog in the new place once I'm officially moved in and settled, so you guys can see everything that's in there. Of course, I'm not gonna go in people's rooms or anything like that. Just give you like a small tour of every place that they have allowed me to be outside of my room, you know, because it's areas that they don't want me to be in, and that's understandable. Cool. I got my own personal space. I don't be in everybody else's business anyway. But I'm gonna be, you know, showing off my new room and everything else that I can in the new house, so you can get a good understanding of how much better the situation is for me. So you guys get ready for that. So again, thank you guys for being patient with everything. Peace. Remember, be humble in victory, be gracious in defeat, but show no mercy in battle. That's the World Warriors Collective motto. World Warriors Collective.